Welcome back, everyone, to the Americans' Voice and Beyond. I know I'm set to rebroadcast on next Sunday, but I feel that there are these strange occasions where you have to break the mold or change process or make some adjustments. And, you get up and you start to look at the turn of events daily. It seems like something's always going on. Some people say that's an era of Trump characteristic. But I have to disagree. I think it's a Trump amplification. The way things have happened in the era of Trump, everything's under a magnascope. It's magnified. So another thing that's magnified is also the violence through one side. Mainstream media refuses to cover the violence and the bad acts of bad actors. But they fawn over everything, everyone, every characteristic, every behavior that one muzzles, covers, suppresses, don't expose, bring to the light. And they say, nothing to see here. Look over here. Don't worry about the man behind the curtain. Don't worry about him. He's okay. That's Uncle Joe. He's fine. Creepy, creepy Joe. But I won't resort to calling names today. But these people are crazy. But I'm going to talk about what I see. But we're going to get off into it. And the person we're going to be talking to today is going to be about Bevelyn Beatty. And I've seen her before. I think she was out talking with protesters on another video. And you can tell when people are doing something just to go viral, which I guess that's the point, to go viral. Don't get me wrong here. But then you can tell people are doing things and it's coming straight from their souls. I was looking at an article and it's time for everyone to raise up. When the show yesterday, I remember I was talking about very briefly about people being activists. I was talking about people taking control and taking their country back. I talked about very briefly about we have a country to save. There are so many moving parts, so many different elements, so many different ingredients goes and have went into this experiment called America, the greatest country on the planet. I was looking at Life, Liberty, and Levin last night, and Shapiro was on there, and I like that guy. He talks a million miles a minute. I get like that from time to time. But Shapiro was on there, and Levin was talking to him about liberty and just the existence of liberty. Evil is out there attempting to thwart, take out, conquer, overturn any aspect of liberty that we have. And that's why I spoke yesterday about the importance of liberty versus capitalism. And Mark's right. But why doesn't evil need to be defended? That's a good question, isn't it? Why, how come evil is able to stand and let stay and nothing to see here? Hey, just going about your business. Once again, going back to the man behind the curtain, pulling the strings. This social media is very, very dangerous. The most dangerous I've ever seen in my life. The double standard is blaring. The double standard will fry out your eyes if you had eyes to see. That means most of the people out there that are Republican leaning, good, decent salt of the earth people, conservative leaning, they're walking around with no eyes, but they truly see. And the ones that say they see, they're blind. They remain blind. And it's amazing, even on the topic of abortion, two different mindsets. Now, I don't believe in 100% abortion. There are special cases where a mother and her life is in danger. You guys heard the views, and so we don't have to go down that road. But for the most part, I just want to be free, like most people. And so going into why this podcast was recorded today is I wanted to talk about Bevelyn Beatty. What a warrior. What a voice. This is how you don't start the resistance, because the resistance is on the other side. This is how you organically start a movement and you wake up the sleeping souls in America. You just swore everybody, up and down everybody in America's Joe Biden. Sleepy, sleepy Joe, like the president calls him. But once again, it's a true awakening, or organic grassroots awakening. And it seems like sometimes it's over. We've totally lost it. We're the common sense thinkers, is what you start to think as you look at real news. You know, it's so fortunate that we have great people that want to work hard and fight hard for this country. But there's always another side of the coin. It's so unfortunate that we have others who want to destroy. And so, as I'm bringing up Mrs. Beatty, I was looking at an article, and what it says in captions is, black woman pours paint over New York City's Black Lives mural. Refund the police. Not defund. Refund the police. What it says here, it says a black woman poured black paint over New York City's Black Lives Matter mural in the front of Trump Tower in New York City on Saturday. First of all, it's letters, ladies and gentlemen. Murals or paintings. I remember beautiful murals we used to have when I was in junior high school, transitioning off into high school. Kids would get together and we paint these beautiful murals of eagles and Indians and, oh crap, that's PC. I shouldn't say anything about Indians, should I? It's part of our culture. It is a part of our life. It is a part of who we are. So many of us want to quash the past. Well, if you eliminate the past and start over, I don't know where this doctrine came from, the start over like the earth was invented yesterday. Here's the problem with that. Many, many decades ago, I was born, and I remember those times. And that's a history I want to remember, not erect statues up, but remember, because I need to remember that. We all need to remember our past. We all need to remember where we came from. We all need to remember the mistakes we've made. But why would we do that? Some people ask. So you don't do it again. It's that simple. Some people ask. So you don't do it again. It's that simple. 100% responsibility, 100% accountability. I own it. And that's a part of the fabric from that beautifully woven sweater I was talking about yesterday. That beautiful sweater that leftists are just clawing at like cats. It's been lost. And so what we do, we take it to the streets. No doubt about it, guys. We are in a civil war, and this war is brewing, and it's going to get worse. And some people sit and say, well, we didn't start it. They did. And I agree. Hopefully it doesn't come to blood, but if it does, they're the ones who started. See you back in just a minute on the American's Voice and Yanni. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone. The American's Voice and Yanni. Great to have you guys here on this special edition. We're going to jump right back off into where we left off on last segment. And it's Bevelyn Beatty. And, I want to get off into the article here because when you hear and see things like this here, one, there's a God. Two, people are fighting. Three, this country isn't lost yet. It is our responsibility to fight to the very, very last. It's our responsibility to fight and claw until we know for sure that the ashes of America are blowing in the wind. We fight until we see ashes. But it said right here, Bevelyn Beatty, a Christian woman and activist with the Well-At Ministries, wore a t-shirt that said Jesus Matters and repeatedly called for the refunding of the police departments while spreading black paint on the leftist slogan, according to Instagram. And guys, this is so good because, you go to Instagram, you see the video there. But this lady here, she was, there's this rapper producer named Master P, for some of the people that are in the streets. And he had this song called Bout It, Bout It. This woman was bout it. And here's a little bit of it here. Okay? I'll explain what's going on.
It's okay. We ain't got time. Let's just get to it. Where's your helpers? People that come. If they come, they come. If they don't, okay. They don't. All right. So all of these are open. Y'all just start. We just must get to it. Okay. I need to move the car, right? Yeah, but you got the keys out the car? Up there next to you?
They got about 16 buckets of paint. In the back of this little car here, and all types of paint rollers and stuff like that. They came prepared. Here's the beautiful thing about element of surprise. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think this whole BLM so-called movement, which I call the BLN movement, Black Lives No Matter, because it's only convenient for them to execute when they think something is going to benefit them. Kind of like the charlatans and the frauds in Hollywood, and the athletes, the LeBron James of the world, And there's a whole lot more of them in the NBA, in the Chinese's back pocket. Either you guys are willing to fight for your family or you're not. Right now, our family needs to have all hands on deck. The family is USA. These movements, they pop their heads up and rear their heads up from time to time. But when they rear their head up, it's our responsibility to crush them. Crush them all. Leftists, not liberals, You liberals better wake up too, because they'll come in for you after a while as well. They'll either pull you further to the left, or they'll take your freedoms, your liberty you want to have, or the liberty you so-called so dear, so precious to you. That can be taken. But a comment she says, you know, if people come, they come. If they come, if they don't, they don't. That is a courageous statement of battle. Some will, some won't. So what? That's not going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. That's not going to stop me from being a responsible United States citizen. That's not going to stop me from doing what's right. And all you guys cowering behind your desk, cowering behind your beds or in your bunker, in your basement, Joe Biden, all you guys are going to learn one day, if you don't fight for your freedom, every day you decide not to say anything. Every day you succumb to the PC culture. Every day you give up a piece of your rights, a little bit of your freedom. So she goes on in this video here. Let me play a little bit more of this here for you here. Cut to.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter, right? For the black people. It's for the black people. They destroying businesses for black people. They're looting for black people. They do it for black people, right? Black lives matter.
And she is taunting their message. The BLNM message, the Black Lives No Matter movement message. She's challenging their philosophy. She's challenging their beliefs. Do they really matter? Like I said yesterday, look at Chicago. Look at Philadelphia. Look at Atlanta. Look at Los Angeles. I can go on and on and on. Do they really, really matter? I'm going to continue.
No, we're not standing with Black Lives Matter. We want our police. Refund our police. Refund our police. Y'all don't care about black lives. Y'all don't care about black lives. Refund the police. Refund the police. They say Black Lives Matter. They say Black Lives Matter, right? They say Black Lives Matter. Oh, they don't care about black lives. They don't care about black lives.
Bingo. I want to say one thing, 1.3 from, I want to thank all you rioters, first of all. I want to thank you looters, you know, you little pretty, bright, flaming arsonists, you thieves, you socialist, Marxist. I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for this culture almost fully being metastasized into something else, where the cops are not reacting, the cops don't respond. She's making sport of these cops here. Not being disrespectful. What I'm saying is, don't get me wrong here. She's making sport of the cops because they don't want to do anything to become national news. So, in turn, thank you so much, BLNM. Because she's walking, just dropping paint all on this. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful sight. It looks like a bumblebee as she started going across the yellow and the black. It's amazing. And but this environment you guys created, because of the environment you guys created, this woman, you made a way for this woman, Bevelyn Beatty, to be able to deface and pour paint all over this abomination of an organization. And shame on you athletes, you celebrities, because you guys aren't movie stars anymore. Stars have fallen a long time ago. NFL, hopefully the MLB doesn't become politicized. Look like it might be going that way. Look, we've gotten a taste of what it's like without sports, guys. We can do it. And all these hefty salaries being paid to these athletes and these celebrities, and they bash our country. They bash the United States of America. They attempt to decapitate the USA, to where truly there will only be two classes. the rich, and the poor. Clip 4. And this is beautiful. As a guy is driving by, he's screaming expletives at the young lady. She has assumed the position of the Karate Kid, and with black paint, she is doing the wax on, wax off movements all over the yellow Black Lives Matter sign, which to me equates to BLNM sign. I mean, she's perfecting this wax on, wax off. I can guarantee she's a 3rd-degree black belt. And so the cops are trying to get her at bay. One slips, in the paint. It's almost like a comedy movie, but, if it was funny, but it's not. Believe me, I'm not trying to make fun of this situation. It's chaos. And realistically, our officers should be out there chasing the real criminal, the real enemies, like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. I can go on and on and on. Get them! When are we going to get them? When are we going to get the president? When are we going to destroy the country so we can have our utopia? It does not exist. I love the age we live in now. But I love this woman for her courage and her courageousness. Standing up for Trump, standing up for life, standing up for what's right nowadays can get you killed. And in due time, it'll land you in jail. The censorship, the cancel culture, it's metastasizing. It's evolving, it's growing. And the conservative voice and common sense, uncommon practices is the vaccine that kills it. Cut 5, please.
Jesus matters. Black lives don't matter. Jesus matters. Jesus matters. Jesus matters. Jesus matters. Stand up. Take your country back. Amen. Take your country back. Amen. We're dying left and right. They're going to kill us. Take your country back. Take your country back. Take your...
Courage. Straight courage. And she says they're liars, they're killers. She's not talking about the police, ladies and gentlemen. They turn and they pan the camera. Whoever did this, it was perfect timing. And she looks intently into the camera, almost fiercely, and she's speaking her message. The message that I believe a majority of Americans are longing to hear. Look at the beauty of video. I encourage you guys to go to Instagram and look at it. The beauty of the message. The beauty of the USA. This is an incredible country, ladies and gentlemen. And we need more people like her. More people like you. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about the notoriety. It's about doing what's right. And we have a country to save. Last clip. You gotta love it. Someone comes up and starts yelling at her, calls her a coon. Somebody else is like, there's a Democrat right there. I'm gonna submit to you guys, Democrats are starting to disappear. They're becoming endangered species, kind of like the dodo bird. When it comes to truth, All they can do is lash out. They don't have the ability to defend. Academically, I'm gonna call those who have more of a conservative leaning or bent, not far right. I call them the scholars. And then you have the redistributionist that want to redistribute your wealth, your hard efforts, your hard work, blood, sweat, and years. And there's tears in there too. By any means matter. They want to destroy. But like she said, by any means matter, we have to take our country back. On the hashtag on the, I believe it was on Twitter, no, Instagram, it says, we're going to take our country back by any means necessary. Sounds familiar? Malcolm X. We're going to take it back peacefully if we have to. But it says in the Bible that the violent take it by force. And they're taking our liberties by force. Pound USA, Trump 2020, New York City, refund the police. Finish the article off. It says, take our country back. Beatty captioned in the video of her actions via Instagram, we are going to take our country back by any means necessary. Jesus matters. Rise up. Beatty and 2 black Christian women also assist her. All lives matter. And it was time to take our country back. This is so true, ladies and gentlemen. The madness, the bizarre world going on out there, it has to stop. When does it stop? CBS New York reported that the scene turned chaotic when police officers tried to arrest Beatty. She apparently resisted, causing one of the officers to fall on the concrete. He slipped. She didn't push him on 5th Avenue. It took several minutes, it goes on to say that to get her under control. Police say that 29, Beatty 29, and MD Shivanis 39, both of Staten Island. Staten Island girls are pretty tough, you guys see. They're being charged with mischief and given a desk to appearance ticket before being released. CBS News reported that injured officer was taken to a local hospital with non-serious injuries. It's better than bullet wounds or gunshot wounds, right, guys? He slipped on paint. Look at the mishaps that happened with police officers on our side. Something to think about. Think about the contrast. Let it sink in. CBS News reported that the injured officer was taken to hospital with non-serious injuries. This is the only one of few times that Major de Blasio's sanctioned Black Lives Matter mural has been defaced over the weekend. And they had little gates and stuff around it. This is amazing, guys. They're creating their own history. Let's start right now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's not fight for anything. They have not built a damn thing. And they're demanding that almost 250 years of progress be halted and stopped and torn up. Elon Omar, Presley, Ayok, clowns. And I can't believe that we voted these people in. I didn't do it. I didn't vote them in. But on that note, we do have a country to save. This is dedicated to Bevelyn Beatty and all the courageous people that were coming out over the weekend and absolutely covering in blue paint that signifies blue lives matter, cops' lives matter. Black paint. The people are taking the fight back to this corrupted organization, BLNM. So until next time, I see you guys Sunday at 10 a.m. on the Americans Voice and Yanni. Have a great day.